Oh my gosh, I am terrified. Is the goal set at 70,000? Is our end approaching? The next step is unclear to me. Let it be. It fell 28% in 3 days in 2017, then chopped sideways before rising again. Going forward, it will split apart from this graph. In my opinion, the odds of that happening are quite high, at 77%. The base is here. After it splits, it will vanish. Over the course of the whole season, the next phase will unfold. We have surpassed 50 in the ISM at this point. Right now, that doesn't mean it's season immediately. My alternate characters need to be made available, please. Am I in the banana zone now? The banana zone will not materialize. There was no success with banana zones. The banana peel has tripped you. Quit being so rude. It takes time. When the ISM picks up speed, everything will fall into place. We should expect altcoins to gain traction. That is to say, I comprehend. I have taken note of your feedback on my videos. A lack of significant movement in XRP during the past 2 or 3 weeks is consistent with the previous 3 months. More precisely, we staged that enormous election rally back in November. In December, we experienced some price movement that was pretty positive. January also saw a lot of price change. Not much has happened since the start of February either. Some good reasons can be made in its favor. As a result of the Trump trade battles, I feel as though I've traveled through time. Because of everything that has happened in the news over the past 2 weeks, I feel like I've aged a year. The sheer number of happenings makes time seem to be going faster and slower for us. In the meanwhile, the Federal Reserve has taken a hands-off approach, temporarily halting any changes to interest rates. When it comes to the future of the economy, the public at large is quite gloomy. Along with myself, Raoul Pal has been a long-time resident of this area, and he will be providing us with insightful forecasts regarding the future of this place. I believe many of you would benefit from listening to him, especially those of you who are sick and weary of dealing with patients. Also, if you pay close attention, you will learn a lot of useful stuff from this type of material that you would not have known otherwise. He has spoken, so let us hear him out. The pattern remains consistent both times. It follows a pattern, much like the dollar. Eventually, everything should be resolved. Global liquidity has improved, as shown by the rise in global M2. People also tend to be perplexed about what will happen if the Fed does not further decrease interest rates. Never mind. What if there is no substantial reduction in interest rates? Never mind. What will transpire if they resist from spending the entire Treasury fund? Never mind. It is imperative that you understand the big picture. The world will once again be shaped by China, just as it was in 2017. Even though the US stimulus is what I anticipate, the real actor is China. At this present moment, the yield on Chinese bonds is 1% or really close to it. As Jay Powell informed us today, when we are running out of runway, lowering rates means QE, baby, and more cowbell. It appears that the Chinese want a significantly higher quantity of QT and QE to achieve the results I was aiming for in my Excel calculation. It seemed to me that the computation was really substantial. They should issue additional currency. Why? Their population is showing its age, and they have accrued massive debt that must be settled. All of us are experiencing this together. All things are coded in this way, my friends. I could keep describing it forever. To some extent, you get it. The key argument is that debasing the currency is the only way to pay off the obligations. The Chinese will also be very demeaning. But they will be unable to accomplish so until Trump hammers them with the strong dollar and the words, "You will agree our tariffs," both of which are currently taking place. Once the tariffs are established, he will next make a series of promises, one after the other, including a carrot and a stick. The depreciation of the currency is one such inducement. He accomplished that in 2017. He will do it again now. Depreciation of the currency and inactivity or reduced expenditure by Doge will lead to falling rates. The next phase, known as the banana zone, is the end outcome. A great deal is riding on this. Nothing else is occurring right now. Relax, you need not be concerned. No worries at all. The beauty is overwhelming. At this point, global M2 always shows up, then it breaks out, retests, and finally climbs higher. Since we are in an ideal position, this ought to occur once more. The second phase, global M2, is soon to commence. The dollar's depreciation. There are two options, Bitcoin and global M2. Whenever you utter the words, "Oh my God," I always catch on to them. Oh, how wonderful it is that I am. Concern, concern, concern. Is the goal set at 70,000? Are we doomed to die? Where do I stand now? Let it be. Its 2017 decline was 28% in 5 days, followed by a choppy swooping sideways and subsequent recovery. Going forward, it will split apart from this graph. A very high probability of 7% is what I'll give you. The low point has been reached, eventually, it will disconnect and disappear. Next up is the alternate season. A stronger economic cycle is taking shape. The number of new orders is on a meteoric rise. The business cycle affects profits all throughout the world. Global riches are transformed into a threat. The value of risk assets, including commodities, small-cap stocks, and Bitcoin altcoins, rises when they are recycled. We are still in the early phases of the economic cycle. A rating of 50 or higher on the ISM indicates that the business cycle is likely to continue. We recently received our first print, but when it reached 50 is anyone's guess. Most recently, we crossed paths around 2020 or 2021. Therefore, it is necessary to finish the cycle. I shall reach the peak of the cycle at some point, but we are now quite far from it. Downsized inventory, fresh requests. A 3-month lead, screamed even louder. The business cycle is going to pick up speed soon. In addition, oil prices, the health of the economy, and the dollar's value. If their predictions are correct, it should hit 55.6%, but the ISM would reject that because guess what? The dollar's worth, interest rates, and energy prices will all fall, in our opinion. As a result, it should climb into the 60s, extending the cycle. Hence, we still have 9 months to go until the cycle reaches its apex. That is why the scenario we find ourselves in right now is so fascinating. The situation is improving. We are not even close to being overbought, according to the overbought, oversold indicator that depicts the current stage of the cryptocurrency market's cycle. Bitcoin's value increases in tandem with each ISM peak, and it decelerates in response to each ISM break. Instead of being at the peak, we are now in the acceleration phase. Those who disagree are wholly uninformed. Next, we've moved into the speedier stage. Liquidity will be available to us soon. By the end of the year, or maybe even into 2026, the ISM will have reached its maximum. I assure you, there is absolutely no need for concern on your part. The ISM and Julian's posh, detrended rendition of it are both presented here. Gets back a Bitcoin price model. Incidentally, we are discussing Bitcoin prices in the 250, 350, or 1,000 level if the ISM reaches its anticipated level of 60. Plus, we haven't even started yet. Altcoins will eventually outperform Bitcoin in terms of value. Here you may see what proportion of the market capitalization altcoins comprise. The ISM has recently surpassed 50, in essence. There won't be a sudden change in style because of that. Immediately, hand over my alts. Am I in the banana zone now? No banana zone will be established. It was a banana zone disaster. The banana peel has tripped you. Remain silent, it takes time. All will be resolved when the time is right. When the ISM accelerates, cryptocurrency will likely follow behind. As I've mentioned previously, I'll repeat it again, this cycle won't reach its peak until mid-year. That much is certain to me based on all that Rao Pao has said. More than that, the money printer isn't working either. Furthermore, think at all the previous bull runs that had massive super cycles. When did it all start? In almost every instance, the growing money supply was at blame. More and more people are getting depreciated currency. An increasing number of individuals are buying alternative cryptocurrencies with the intention of discovering a means to accumulate large wealth before the next inflationary bubble, thanks to increased disposable incomes. I am giving you this incredible opportunity to make it right because I want you to. Here in the video's description you'll find a link to BitUnix, where you can find all the information you need to open an account and start trading XRP and all the other cryptocurrencies that are going to be hot during this bull run. Many trading options are available to you, including futures, spot, and copy trading. All of that is yours for the taking when you seize this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, which requires only a single purchase. I can say with absolute certainty that this bull run will be the most unprecedented in our whole history. In other words, perhaps 9 or 10 months is all you got. It needs to be executed perfectly. All the way through the months of March, April, and beyond, I intend to make a purchase daily. Do not make a fool of yourself, time is of the